Let's now talk about another advanced mate, which is called Hinge. But before we do that, let's save whatever progress we've made in this assembly. So I'll just go to save option and I'll save it in the same folder. So inside the file cabinet folder, I'll name it full assembly and I'll just save it. So our full assembly is saved. Now, before returning back to this one, I'll simply create another subassembly. And for that, I'll go to this file cabinet folder. And here we have this hinge left, hinge right, and hinge pin. So these are the three components that I'm going to use for creating this subassembly. So I'll start with this hinge left. So double click, and that's going to open a completely new file. Of course, this is in part modeling environment. That's not where we want this. So I'll just go to assembly. So I'll go to this new arrow and make assembly from part. Just click OK with the default option. And if the part is not visible, activate graphics preview. And now the part is, well, visible here. So in this case, it is inserting this full assembly. That's not what we want. We want hinge left. So select hinge left and click OK. And now click OK again. And the hinge is added. Now we can also close all the other drawings that we don't need. So maybe I'll just close full assembly and I'll go to window, and also I will close this hinge left because we already have this thing open as an assembly file. So now let's save it as another assembly. So I'll go to save to this PC, rebuild, and let's call it hinge assembly. And in the same folder, I'll save it. All right, the first part is added. Let's add the second one. For that, I'll go to insert component and I'll select hinge right. All right, click open and I'll just add it like this. All right, so hinge left, hinge right added. For this one, I'm going to orbit this hinge right. And I'm just going to place it approximately where it should be. And also I'll move it like this. Okay, so this is how it should be added. Now we need to, well, merge these two, and also we need to make sure that these are concentric. Now, in order to do that, I'll directly use the hinge mate. So go to mate, and in the mechanical option, you'll find the hinge mate right here. So it is one of the mates that will automatically let you show the motion of this hinge. So I'm just going to select this hinge mate. And now here we have two options to select from. We need to select the concentric section and coincident. Let's start with concentric. So the concentric sections are this one, so this one, and anyone from here, this one. So these two are concentric. Now the coincident, well, select any two sections which are going to remain coincident. In this case, this face is going to coincide with this. All right, and the hinge is added. Now the hinge is added and it will work like a hinge, but if you want to add more details, for example, if you want to specify an angle limit, then you can check this box and specify that. Now with the angle limit, you can specify the total angle of open and close. For example, in this case, I will select the faces. So this face and this face. And now you can specify the initial and final angle between these two faces. Currently, these two faces are at an angle of 0 degrees. Let's change the current angle and let's make it 90 and tab key. And this is how the 90-degree angle is going to look like. Now let's for a moment assume that we want the hinge to look like this and we don't want it to rotate beyond 90 degrees. So for that, the minimum value will become 0 and the maximum value will become 90. So you can apply a limit and the hinge will only move between these two limits. So I'll now click OK and OK again, and we have the hinge. Now if I try moving it, well, it will go up to this flat plane and then it will move up to 90 degrees. So it's only going to move up to those points and it's not going to move beyond that. Now, in this case, we don't want to apply that limit, though it may look like very useful thing, but we'll do it later. So I'll go to mate, hinge, and I'll modify this. And in this case, I'll simply deactivate specify angle limits, though you can do that. But for now, let's leave it and click OK and OK again. Finally, let's add the hinge pin. So I'll go to insert component And here we have the hinge pin. So this hinge pin will basically keep these things together, both of these left and right components. So I'll just add it here randomly, and let's just make it concentric. So I'll select this face and then this one, and they both should be concentric right there. And now I'll also ensure that this face, and control select this face, then this face, and basically control select this face, they should have the width made. With the width made, it is going to keep this pin exactly centered with respect to this entire assembly. All right, so this is added and it is free to move. So let's now save this assembly. So I'll click on save and it is saved.